Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. I am your kernel mentor and today we will look into the Linux shell and their basic commands which we can use to navigate through this Linux shell. For this work we will be using Ubuntu as a host OS and we will use a command line interface to uh, go through all the different folders and like all different sort of commands we will use here. So before starting with the practical aspect of this command line, I'll give you a brief overview of Linux shell. So basically, let's know what the Linux shell is, right? So normally you might have used Windows, right, where you see the graphical user interface, right, GUI. So that is equipped with all the graphics where you can click over it and you can browse the folders, you can go to any program, right? You click over it. So that is one of the graphical user interface. Then you have a Linux, you have a shell interface, which is a command line interface, which for which you are given one shell. Like you can see here, this is a shell, and there when you will write some command, the shell will interpret those command and do the background work of it. Let's say you want to go to some folder, right? There is some command that you will specify in the folder name, and that it will navigate you through the that folder. And so Linux shell itself is a program which is running on the host OS and providing you an interface to talk to the kernel. Now there in context of Linux, right? You see different shells, right? Shell is a kind of a user program, yes, as I said, right? So that gives you some sort of commands which you can use, right? So there is one of the main most commonly used shell was a bourne against shell. That's bash. Normally we call it a bash. It's a very default shell in the most of Linux distribution, and it's compatible with most of the other variant of the shell like corn shell, C shell. Main advanced feature this bash support is like it is having the command line editing. You can have a history. You can look into the history of commands that you typed. You can do shell scripting. All. Another shell that comes is a Z shell. You can call it. It is as similar to Bombshell, but it has some extra features like you can press tab to complete the command. You can have spelling corrections. It might happen that these new shells, old shells, also might have they could have taken these kind of new advanced features in their shell. It's always incremental features that you get in different shells. There is another friendly interactive shell which is more user friendly and it's more intuitive, and it's more toward like syntax highlighting. It will be auto suggesting something kind of a shell. Then you have a Corn shell that was developed by some David Corn, and like so it was a more of a administrator level kind of a shell which they used to use for system administration. Then another dash shell that is very less commonly used, mostly used for embedded systems. It might be used like it's a very lightweight shell. As embedded system, you might have a very less memory footprints that you can use. So these are the different shells. I'll not go into much details of it. We will look into the basic Linux command. Like first is they are divided them into different topics, top level topics. Like we'll do some file system navigations and management. Then we will look into the file permission kind of ownership of them, text processing, then system information, process management, and networking. So we will look into the most commonly used commands. Before starting this, I hope that you guys have already installed VMware Workstation, and inside that you already have installed Ubuntu as a virtual machine. If not done, please follow my old tutorial where this all these things have been mentioned. It will be very helpful for you. So, or even if you have your own Ubuntu system, it will be very helpful. You can do same on your main Ubuntu machine itself. Okay, so first we will look into the file management commands. Let's move to our workstation. So we have a workstation here. Let me log in into this. Go here and you can type terminal. So this is your shell where you're going to do your work. So before going into the file management page, let me show you some system information. So if you type who am I, that will tell you the username. Who is using this currently? Who is the user logged in? So who am I is a command which says who is the user who is using this OS at this point of time and who has logged into it. Similarly, you can say uname R. That will give you the version of the Ubuntu that kernel it is using. So this is 6.5018 generic, right? Uh, if you want to say more verbose information, you can say uname minus A. That will tell you, okay, it will give you a very long string saying it's a Linux Ubuntu VM of this version. It's 22.0.4 Ubuntu version with these all flags, right? So now we know. So this is a Ubuntu VM. See, this is the name of the machine. This was the name of our user, right? So now we are logged into the user. Now, okay, let's start with the file management things. First is PWD. This prints working directory. So currently we are in home Sanjay, right? If you and when you do ls, it says list the files. So it will list all the file in current directory. Correct? So you see we are in the home Sanjay folder here, and there in the folder we have all the list of these files. Correct? Let's say we want to go in one of the folder, then we will say cd download. Let's is a folder here. You see download. When I do cd, see you are changed here. It says downloads, right? Now, so when you do ls, you will see we are in download folder, and when you do pwd, you say we are in the download folder now, right? Because we use the cd command to go into this folder, and then we did ls. There is no file in this download folder, and when we see using pwd, it says there is a folder. Correct? To create a new folder, we can use mkdir. Make directory. Let's say I will name it test and press enter. And when you do ls, you will find test directory here. So that says now we have a directory. You can navigate to this directory here, cd test. So now you say when you say pwd, we are in the this test folder. If you want to move out of this directory, you can do cd double dot followed space followed by double dot. Now you are back to the old directory, right? One directory back. When you do ls, now you can see test folder here. Inside this, now let's create a small file. So there is one command called touch. I'll say test.txt. That created one file here. You can see here. So now we want to see the content of this file. You can use command cat test.txt. See, it is printing nothing here, right? Because nothing is there inside this file. If you want to edit this file and add some string inside this, there are two ways. If there is a very small things to be added into this file, you can do echo the string. Let's say I want to type I am kernel mentor, right? And you should direct it to this file txt txt and press enter. So now what does is echo means output this echo into this indirection says greater than sign directed to the text.txt file. Now when you get this file, you'll see I'm a kernel mentor. Editors available inside the shell like vim. You do txt and enter, you'll see you can edit the file. For edit file, you have to press I to insert, and to come out of this interactive console mode. I means interactive console mode. When you want to come out, type escape. So since I want to delete this, I'll type I want to insert. Let's not delete it. Let's add some new line. I am teaching Linux basic commands. Correct? And then press enter, and then see now if I don't want to type anything and I want to just come out of this, type escape, and now you are no more in the interactive mode. You see the I is been removed, right? You can press, either you can press colon WQ, W for write, Q for quit. So you want to write this and quit. So when you enter it, now you can again cat this file. You see we have two line followed by a new line. Now let's say I want to copy a new file of this text.txt file. So the simple command will be cp txt. I can say txt dot 2.txt. Okay. So when you do this, you see there's a new file test2.txt is created. When you get this file, newer file, it will have the same content in the original file, right? Now if you want to delete this, I'll do remove rm t. So I'll do remove tst dot txt, right? It removed it. Now how you can do the removal of the text file. If I want to move this file text.txt to the directory of test, I'll do move txt into text. This is a directory. So this is a file and this is a directory. When I do this and you do ls, see the file is no more there, right? But when you navigate to the test file, you see this file here in this folder. You can again move this file back to the original. Just you have to type move txt into back. So dot slash denotes you're going back to the old directory. So when you type here and you do ls here, the file is no more here, and you go back here, you see the file in original place, right? If I want to remove a directory, we have another file, we have another command. So first let's okay, so to remove a new directory, you have a command rm tst. But you can't use this rm tst directly, it won't remove because test is a directory. So you have to add one command, parameter minus r, and then you do, it will delete that. So for this you can see like help, which will give you, say it's a recursive remove directories and their content recursively. So if you not sure of what commands to use, you can browse through this help command for each of the command, and that will give you all the parameters which are required to do the operations. So first let's add some data into this text file so that we can view this. Let's add something like this. I'm just adding some random data here, and I'll add end of file, right? To just end of. Now you see the text file contain, if I do .txt, you have to browse through the full file and see it through the scrolling up, right? So there is a good way to see this is you can do cat of text.txt and you can do head. So when you do head here, so this is a or which you or it with the head, new command, this command followed by head says you just print the initial 5 7 lines of this text file. Now let's say I'm just interested in the end of it, I'll just say tail. So you see the end of file here, right? This is how you can see the new files. Uh, so this is how you can see the start and the end of the file without wasting the time to look into the full file. Also, you have more. There's one more thing that you can do is more. So more says it gives you an interactive shell where you can press enter and you can scroll down and up. It doesn't display you full file at the same time. So when you again type it, let's say more. So it shows you some data, initial data, and then you can, if you type enter, it will get you to the end of the file. Once you reach the file, it will be closed. Similarly, you have less, which says end of the file, and then you have to type enter, and you will be out of this file. So now we will look into the file permission and ownership commands. So let's go to our workstation. So last time, as we saw, when we do ls minus la, we see this sort of information displayed here. Let's focus on test.txt file. So you see starting here some letters written here. So here this says the mode, security mode of this file. So considering test.txt, it says dash here, right? Dash means it is a file. And when you see D here, it's a directory. D denotes the directory. Then you have a RWX, right? Here RW only with dash. Then there are three pairs of each, right? RWX, R dash X, then all the dash dash. So these are the permissions for each of the type. So the first permissions are for the user, the current user who is logged in. Second permission is for the group, and third permission for all the others. So seeing this guy, the text.txt, you see this is a file, that's why dash here. It has a read write permission for the user, it has a read write permission for the group as well, but only read permission for the others users, right? Now, and then this is a root user and this is a root group, right? That's the user, as you can see here. Now, so if you want to change the permission of this guy, so let's say if you want to give it executable permission to current permission, current group. So basically, how do you see it? There are different names used to set this file. So one the command we use is chmod, that stands for change mode. So you want actually these particular string denotes the security mode of the file. So what you do is, so here you have a U which stands for the user, you have a G which stands for the group, and you have O which stands for the other. Now, similarly you have R which stands for the read, then you have a W which stands for the write, and then X stands for the execute. We can do arithmetic on these all these letters with this command. So plus stands for adding the permission, right? And minus stands for removing the permission, correct? So if I want to add a permission for this text file for the user saying I want to execute, so u plus, so you want for the user, you want to add a permission of x, that is the executable for txt.t. And when you enter this command and when you do again ls minus la, x here which says it has got a write permission for this guy. Now if I want to remove this, you can again go back and you can do minus here, which will subtract the this permission from this, and you enter minus la, you see here that X permission has been removed. So this is how you can play with these chmod command. There's another way you can also group in a group you can assign this same permission. So let's say I wanted to assign this permission for the group as well. So what I would have done is I would have applied U and G plus X. So when I do this and when you do LX, you see the read write execute permission is for all both of them, right? So this is how you can collectively apply that, and you can remove as well collectively. Okay, so you see here. Similarly, you can also assign a permission. Let's say I want to assign only the read permission for this. So all for all the groups, right? So then what could I have done is UGO equal to R, right? I just need a read permission. And when I do ls minus LA, you see it just got the read permission here. If I want to add one more permission to it, you can do plus X or W permission, and when you do LA, you see it got write permission. So this is how you can play with the chmod command. So now we have another command which help you change the ownership of the file. So when you do ls minus LA here, you see test.txt here, right? Now the owner of this file is Sanjay here, right? So if I want to change the owner of this file to root, right? So we have a command saying ch minus c, the name of the user whom you want to give the ownership, and the file name. Now, when I type this, it says you're not allowed to change the ownership. This operation is not permitted because the ownership can be only changed by the root user, right? So you have to add a sudo here. Sudo says super user. So when you do ls plus la, you see now the ownership of the user has changed to root. So this is how you can change the ownership. So now we will look into the text processing commands. So basically there are many commands, but we'll do into just see grep and sed command. So so basically, if you have a file, let's say, let's see the content of this file first. Let's add some useful content to it. Okay, I'll just echo some to it. Let's say you want to search some. Let's say, does this file contain mentor keyword or not? So you can just type grep minus rni and it will search mentor into. So it says there is a mentor keyword inside this file. Even when you don't know the, you want to just search in the current directory. Like let's say there are multiple files saying mkdir. Let's say new file text.txt into new.txt. Now I want to say in search in the recursively through this, see this rnr means through this directory, and don't, if you don't even specify this text file, and it says there are two files which contain these keywords, right? So this is how you can search the keyword inside your files wherever directory is there. So now we have a stream editor which can help you manipulate few things inside it. Let's say you want to change the occurrence of a, you want to replace one word with another word in this file. So when you have a text, you have, right? So now I want to change this word to mentor to teacher. So I'll say S old word. Old word is mentor, and then you have a teacher here, right? And you want to do occurrence of all words, right? Then type G and type the file name. When you enter, you see now if you get this file, you will see it is having, right? Okay, now we will look into some system information. How there are a few commands which can help you to trace some system information. Let's move to our okay, let's clear this. Right. Now, if I want to say what is the total disk space for DF, which give you the space in human readable format. In DF here, you see this HT3 contains some 12 GB of used data, 7 GB of available information, available directory space, and then you have this ST2 which contains this amount of. So this is how you can display the system information. What is the directory size and all. Now, if I want to say what is the size of this current directory, let's go back and see du minus sh for download. This is 12K. So this directory is occupying 12K. This for all the file. You can put a star here and this will display the sizes of directory for all of them. Another few commands are uname that we have already seen, which is the system name. So it's a Linux system. Then you have a command called top, which displays the current running task. So you can see here, this is running one of the top command. They are all the different commands are listed here. What is the CPU usage and a lot of things here. I mean, there are different PIDs running here on this system. Then you can also see free memory. When you type free, so you see total space is this much is used, this much is free, how much is shared. So all the how much is swapped, all this information is displayed here with the free. So these are the system informations which you can retrieve using these commands. Okay, we'll open txt file and we'll just press Ctrl Z. But when you see ps minus ef, you have this still file. This process is already open. You want to kill this, then you say kill -9. This is a PID which you to specify here 24097, right? So this will now again if you do ps minus ef, it is killed, right? This process is killed. Now you no more see this process. This kill command you can use to kill the process. Okay, there are some network like if config, which will tell you what is your Ethernet IP address. So here you can see this is the Ethernet IP address. This is your MAC address. Like you can ping, let's say you can ping any other system. Let's say I will ping a Google server, right? So if the server is available, you'll see this some byte received from the it. You can even do SCP. So SCP is a command to copy from the remote server to this server. Currently, I cannot show you this command, but basically the basic syntax will be rcp scp minus r if you want to create bring a directory, or you can still r is needed just for the directory, or else you can skip it, which is a single file. And maybe let's say the username is ubuntu at the rate, maybe the system name is linux, or linux vm. Then you specify the home, whatever directory you specify, and then in your current computer. So this is the source, this is your source, and this is the direct. So current directory, let's say I want to copy in home folder, right? You specify. So this is how you can copy the remote copy from this machine to this current machine, right? Then you can also see date. Okay, there are also some different package management system like APT that we use for the Ubuntu systems. So using APT, you can download new packages inside your whole machine. Yum is for rel based, and then Pacman is for another arc based system. You can have a different command of tar, gunzip, and like this. So we can see. Okay, so tar. Let's say I want to tar this one, right? So if you see the help of tar, what you want to do is if you want to do compressed file of it, right? You can see all these specific things are there. So let's say I want to use the, let's say give you example things here. So I want to create a star archive of this foo bar, right? So C stands for create new archive, right? And F stands for mm, file, right? So C stands for the create and F stands for file archive, right? So let's say I want to tar cf of txt to test.tar, right? I see we deleted that file, right? I think. Uh, okay. So the command is tar txt, right? So as you see here, there's a tar file created. You can extract this file using xf. That is for extracting it. See, if you delete this file, test.txt, and now if you extract this file, you see that file again coming here, right? Extracted from that uh, file. You can also see history of all the command we have typed till now, history. So you can see it will list you all the history of the commands. You can do up arrow to see all the commands that you typed recently. So this is a very brief tutorial for basic Linux commands. We will also, I'll also create a separate video for different type of uh, processing management, file management, all those bit. So, there's a long list of commands, and it's very difficult to memorize for any person, right? And I wanted to keep it very short here, and probably in the next videos, I'll create a very concise video for each of the different operations like file management, networking, and everything, and that will be very helpful for you. So stay tuned for more updates, and you can visit our website as well, kernelmentor.com. There we display different courses as well, and all the blogging that we do. We research on new Ubuntu work or the Linux work, and that's displayed there. Even you can comment on the video for more updates. I hope you find it helpful, and we will slowly improvise on our video as per your recommendations. So thank you so much, and subscribe to my channel.